Hi there. In a world where nothing is certain, that means anything is possible, right? If you want to fulfill your dreams and desires, you are in the right place. You absolutely can have a life of happiness. Everyone deserves an abundance of love, laughter, success, health, and wealth. I'm Tara Chadzakis, and you're listening to the Happy, Inspired, Motivated podcast. The show that brings you meditation, mindset, and motivation. So start by giving yourself permission to be awesome. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hi there, and welcome to this week's episode of Happy, Inspired, Motivated. Now, today I am joined with Karishma, and Karishma is a spiritual coach, a healer, and a leader as well. She's also a proud society leader too. Now, Karishma works with people all over the world, and she works with them on a one-to-one basis, which helps people heal their inner traumas and release things that no longer serve them. She works on reprogramming the subconscious mind, manifesting the life that people want, birthing power, passion, and purpose, shifting identity and mindset, and helping people become the CEO of their own lives. She also has something called Leading Edge Energetic Healing, which I am dying to know more about because that is coming soon and it's not yet released. So without further ado, I would love to introduce Karishma to you. Hi, my lovely. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you. 6 o'clock on a Tuesday, Sunday. What the heck? What day am I on?
Yeah, I don't think I want to go through Monday again.
Maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was. I don't even know what day we're on. My goodness.
Oh, no worries.
Well, it's so lovely to meet you, and it's so lovely to have you on my show. I'm really excited that you joined me today. Thank you so much.
No problem. It's so good to be here, and I'm just loving like all the color and the vibe and the energy that's coming from your podcast. So I'm excited to be on it too.
Oh, thank you. Now, I've just given my listeners a short introduction to who you are, because we have quite a lot in common. We do quite a lot of energy work and finding your purpose and working through limiting beliefs and things like that. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about why you started or what your journey was.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, it was very much going through different challenges in my life, starting from like quite young, where I felt really lost and confused because I was bullied in school. And it's only now that I've actually said the words and talked about it. It was something that I kept to myself for a very long time. And then as time went on, I went through anxiety attacks, depression as well. And it was through that I connected to spirituality. And how that came about was through energy healing, because the traditional methods, like, constantly going in and out of doctors or speaking to counselors, didn't seem to do the trick for me. There was just something deeper. And so I started doing energy healing, and that is what sort of opened the door for me to a whole nother world. And the more I started to understand about energetics, the more I became intrigued and I just wanted to know more. And then I started learning more about spirituality, because it's a lot of the time it's got this sort of negative perception that it's all like witches and very woo-woo, and there's not much education around what spirituality actually is. And what I absolutely loved about it was the fact that it didn't matter what religion you were, the color of your skin, no matter where you're from, you were a divine being. And I just loved that. And I loved that, everyone was equal. You didn't have to pick and choose things. It's just about being the best version of yourself.
Mm.
And that connected with me so, so much. And I was like, this is my calling. So I started learning more about, becoming a spiritual coach. And I'm now a certified spiritual and business coach as well. Started bringing in the mindset. And so I started learning about metaphysics and quantum physics and science of mind. So what that gave me was an edge where I could bring in the woo woo and back it up with science.
Yeah.
And that was just like, wow, this is incredible, because to educate people, and if you've got the science to back it up and say, actually the subconscious mind is a lot more powerful than we knew, then it's like,
Yeah.
this is the facts, and that's what I absolutely loved. It's just being able to bring that in to support what you're saying. And actually, I'm not just another woo-woo person. There is a purpose behind spirituality. There is a purpose behind people talking about energy, talking about guides, or spirit, or source, or higher self, however you want to
Yeah.
call it. Just knowing that actually it is real. And
Yeah.
we're not making it up.
No, exactly. If people look into it, you can actually, scientifically see the energy around somebody's body and measure the energy and see whether it's a high vibrational energy or a low one, and different. And there have been experiments to raise energetic vibrations and see what a difference it makes on physiology and what it makes on people's lives as well. So it's not woo, is it? There's a lot of science behind it, but I don't think people look into that as well, because they think it's I don't know, maybe because it's still quite new, really, I suppose, relatively. So people still are a little bit wary of it. And I guess what they don't know about, they just label as a bit out there, don't they?
Yeah.
So they don't even want to look into it half the time. But if you're working with them, and quite often with myself, I'll do things with clients, and I won't tell them that it's anything to do with energy or woo. And then when they've finished, they're like, oh my God, that was crazy. I'm like, well, yeah, that's exactly what it is. But they don't realize, unless, because if you go into a conversation and say, we're going to do this, they're like, yeah, okay. And you can just hear it in their voice sometimes. Not everybody, but it's some people. So your energetic work is, would you say that was quite a large part of what you do with your spiritual and business coaching?
Yeah, so I do incorporate it. The most I do is probably the subconscious reprogramming. So
Okay.
just to dive in a little bit more into that for listeners that might
Yeah,
not
great.
be too into it. So we obviously have the conscious mind. We've got the subconscious mind, which is a whole different layer. So when people are talking about journaling, or doing breath work and stuff, that's a lot of like the surface level. I mean, they're incredible tools, but that is a very surface level. So when we go the next level deeper, we're talking about the subconscious mind, which is running almost 95% of what we do and how we are. And a lot of that programming comes from different areas, such as like our parents. It can be through DNA, our ancestors, even the movies we watch or music we listen to. And all this programming is basically sitting there, and we're running on this constantly. And a lot of the time it's old programming, so we're running on old programming, trying to live new lives. And so the main thing I help clients with is to reprogram that and release the negative charges in the body, and helping them to get through, whether it's traumas, whether it's inner child healing, whether it's past lives, taking people into past lives and healing the traumas in past lives. It all comes down to what's going on in the subconscious mind, and that is driving so much for us. So where people are finding blocks in there, whether it's personal life, whether it's in business, whether it's manifesting money, or even health, or just time. Even it's like
Yeah.
we're giving our power outside of ourselves. So my whole purpose is to get people to connect back to the truth of who they really are, and reclaiming their power and stepping into it to become the best version of themselves.
Mm.
And so just really, really emphasizing on the subconscious mind. There are obviously blocks that we have to overcome where they're limited beliefs. But where I try and help clients in a different way is by bringing in the energetics. And this energetics helps with physical ailments as well. And most physical ailments will actually start because of thoughts we have, or you know actions we're taking, and it's
Mm.
those thoughts that are actually bringing in the physical ailments, because you're basically so stressed about something, or you're so unhappy, or there's trauma that's sitting there with the negative charge. And this then builds and builds and builds, and then you've got this low vibration in your body, which then eventually turns into a physical ailment. So through the energetics, I'm able to help clients to connect in with their higher self,
Mm-hmm.
and really find where these blocks are, and release that negative stored vibration from the body. And that is what is helping people to then manifest faster, to heal quicker, and
Mm-hmm.
to also release those negative charges which are holding them back. And that is when people feel the thrive, the power, that
Yeah.
the ambition, the real excitement to take on their purpose. And that's what I love to see. It's just it lights up my soul.
It's fascinating, especially, the fact that we can have um, stored trauma from past lives as well. It's not just what we've been through. It could be from our mothers or grandmothers or our past lives, and it's still stored energetically in our body, which is absolutely fascinating. I mean, I don't work to that deeper level with energy, but I've heard lots of stories about people who have shifted and healed past pain, if that makes sense. Well, I know it makes
Yeah.
sense to you, but
It is so powerful. It is incredibly powerful. Anytime I've taken someone through a past life regression, and they're the whole thing is, whether it's true or not, it's this mental picture that comes up, and it's the feeling, the emotion in that mental picture.
Mm,
And when I see clients or people that I've worked with to get my certification, when I've seen the release of that trauma, it is incredible, because then
yeah.
you can see how that from a past life is projecting into this life, and it just blows your mind. And
Mm,
what I also say to people is that I'm not just telling you to go and do it. I've actually done it myself. I've done the trauma work. I've done the past life regressions. I've done the healing. And that's why I know it works. And that's why
yeah.
I really, really emphasize how incredible it is to change your life in that way, because just seeing how they connect is just mind blowing. And I've had people going, into war, like, as Romans. I've seen people going into like being held captive. Just it's so powerful. And
Mm,
one of the people that I've helped, every time we went into a past life, it started off where she was really, really powerless as a woman. And every single time we went into a different past life, it started moving slowly. So each time she would reclaim more power,
mhm.
and there was always a man holding her down. And each time she gained more power, more power. And then in this lifetime, she was actually abused as a child, but she has become so incredibly powerful. She's broken that cycle now,
Perfect.
and it's just so incredible to see. And
Mm.
she's now published a book about her trauma, and she's just talked about how she's now broken this cycle. She's like, no more, it's not happening to my kids, it's not happening to my grandkids or any more generations to come. She's
Yeah.
she's done her bit, and
Ooh, I'm getting
it's
bumps.
it's just so incredible to
Yeah.
watch that journey. And she's a dear friend of mine, and I'm just so incredibly proud of her
Mm.
to see someone go through such an ordeal to then making that their purpose in life. And that's exactly what she's doing. She's helping other people who have survived being abused as a
Yeah.
child, and she's now helping them to thrive, and that's her purpose. And it's such a beautiful way for her to reclaim her power. And it just makes me so excited.
Yeah, and it's also, it's going forward, isn't it? So her future lives will not have this trauma to heal, which is just, it's really powerful. So, I mean, I know I
Yeah.
don't want to look forward to the next life, but you don't know what she could achieve, because she's going to be at a completely different level when she goes into it, which is just absolutely like mind blowing, isn't it? So,
Yeah,
I mean, so
absolutely.
would you, all the depression and the bullying and the anxiety that you went through, did you find that was released through your energetics as well when you did past life healing?
Yes, so a lot of the energy I had, or I would say the low stored vibration, sort of sat in my chest area. And because I had such a build up,
Mm.
when they initially tried to do energy healing for me, it was literally fighting back to come out. So they were trying to, like, the healers were trying to basically pull it out, and it was fighting back. It was that strong, like it did not
Wow.
want to release.
Mm.
And it actually started closing up like my chest, in terms of like, that's why I was having the anxiety attacks, because I just couldn't breathe properly, because there was just so much stored there. So as I started doing my inner work, so doing my trauma work and doing past life regressions, as well as bringing in the energetics, having the double was so incredibly powerful, because through that I was able to work with my higher self to identify where these low stored vibration was, where it was building, and to release that energetically, as well as doing it in the more visual way, where you can
Yeah.
sit in front of someone and go through a trauma session. It was like having that double side to it just made it so much more powerful. And so physically I used to struggle with that, as well as I had digestive problems. I was nauseous all the time. I held a lot of low vibration in my face, so my like cheeks, my nose, like I just always had sinus problems,
Mm.
always had headaches. I was taking sort of painkillers like almost every other day or something like that. And since I've done all that work and released all that, it's been, touch wood, a long time since I've had to take any medication, since I've felt, anxious, since I've
Yeah.
felt that any sort of nausea or anything like that. It's just been incredible. And to go through so much to then come out the other end is
Mm.
just so incredible. And that's why, like, anyone who is thinking, oh, should I give it a go, I would honestly encourage it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be with a specific person. You could try out different techniques, but just release what's stored in your body and just watch the transformation come through. And it's not just with your health, it changes everything around you, like the people that come into your lives, the opportunities you attract,
Mm.
you just get so much more clarity on your purpose, on why you're here and who you're here to help, because everyone has a gift and a message to bring to the
Definitely.
world.
Yeah.
And it's just discovering what that is
Mm.
and using that suffering to then help other people to thrive. And that is what is so incredible about this work.
That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, energy is just when you're increasing your energy, I like to think of it as like a gate. So people with a lower energy can't get in
Mm.
because they just don't match the shape. So, that's the whole once you've released all the toxic energy that you've got and the low vibrational energy and your energy raises, then I guess it's sayonara to the things that were holding you back as well, because you don't want those. You can't attract them anymore into your life, which is so great. I mean, it's just there's so much scope. It's fascinating. And I was actually looking on your website just before you came to join us, and you have got, which I want to know all about, leading edge energetic healing, which is coming soon. So I'm presuming that's a new kind of coaching, or is that a group coaching? Is it a course? What is it that you've got going on?
Yeah, so that is it's basically working with my higher self and guides as well, and bringing in healing, which is why it's leading edge, because it's basically whatever I'm guided to bring in and helping people with healing that way. So it's going to be a group session. It's still very much in the planning stages, but it's going to be group, and I'm just so excited for people to experience it, because it's going to be helping people energetically. And it's not going to be like, people get really scared because they think, oh, energy, you're going to zap me and things like that. So this is nothing like that. This is basically my higher self working with the client's higher self, for example. So your higher self will then give you the healing that you need, and it's up to you whether you accept it or decline it. But it's just really going to be able to help people the way I was able to heal energetically, and taking people through that and helping them heal as well, and releasing that low vibration, which then, as you raise your vibration, manifesting happens better and easier.
Sure. Well,
So
actually, no, I wouldn't say manifesting happens better. I think you manifest better things.
yeah,
Because when it's a low vibration, you still manifest. You're just manifesting the
yeah,
shit stuff, aren't you?
yeah,
Basically.
exactly. Yeah, I
So
mean, you're manifesting 24/7, but yeah,
exactly
it's just manifesting
the good
at a
stuff.
much better level and quicker as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if it's faster vibrational energy, of course. So you
Yeah.
mentioned guides. Tell me more about the guides. That's well, I don't know what these. Yeah, I'm really, really
This is
intrigued.
when everyone's like, right, this is woo woo stuff. This is
No,
not
no, I
science.
love woo, and I'm all woo.
Yeah.
I'm all about the woo, but it's just like, are these your guides? Would these be my guides that we're talking about? Whose guides are they?
So in terms of guides, so at the moment, so I would be working with my guides
Okay.
and I mean, who knows, people, as they're starting to connect in with their higher selves, as they connect in with the energy, they may even get guides coming
Yeah.
through. So it's just how open and how allowing people are. And so this is just me working with my team, and who knows what will happen for clients.
So
But
who are your guides then? Tell me more about them. Are
so
they
guide
are they physical? Are they not physical? But I mean, are they individuals? Are they people as such? Or
so yes, they're non-physical humans. So
okay.
some have been on Earth before, some are from a different multiverse. And
Ooh,
so I've got some famous guides as well. I've got Gandhi, who's a really, really close guide of mine, and
nice.
he shares lots of wisdom with me, which is incredible. And then so you have like your higher self, you have like a watcher who watches over you on a daily basis, and then you have a gatekeeper, kind of how you mentioned in
Mm,
terms of like, when you haven't got the right energy, you can't
yeah.
get in. So this gatekeeper is basically monitoring the energy levels and how you can basically go through different dimensions and things like that. And then you have like collectives, so like, you know, people who listen to Abraham, there's like an
I
Abraham.
love Abraham.
Yeah, so there's an Abraham collective, there's like so there's just so much to learn. And like most of this I've obviously come across through an amazing couple who are my coaches. They are based in Spain, Olivia and Raf Ocaña, and they have basically taught me everything I know about, you know, my higher self, guides. They've got books and all sorts. So it's basically what I've learned from them, what I've gained from my non-physical team, and taking that and then sharing it with other people. So it's really incredible. And
It is
the more
powerful,
you
isn't it?
yeah, the more you start to, and I guess like for me, I kind of was in like how people were probably thinking this is really woo woo. I was there myself. I was in that place where I thought, I don't know about like this energy stuff, and is it me? And like now I kind of feel like I'm just addicted to like learning more about energy and like connecting in with guides and learning more
Yeah.
about them and expanding. And so it is absolutely incredible. And like if people are on the edge about it, I would just say give it a go. What have you got to lose? If you don't like it, you know, it's not the end of the world. You can just
No.
forget about it. If you end up loving it, if it helps you to heal, if it helps you to release and helps you to move forward, helps you to like let go of things that you're holding on to, whether it, you know, it's resentment, it's anger, whether it's trauma, whether it's like inner child wounds, like whatever it is, if you can let go of that and it's helping you, why not give it a go? That's kind of what I want to
Yeah.
leave
Yeah,
people thinking
definitely.
about.
Yeah, I mean, it's if it's going to improve the quality of your life and your business, your relationships, all of these things in your health, then it serves a purpose to do it, doesn't it? To try it at least, like you say. So, I mean, back to your guides because I'm fascinated. Are they with you all the time or only when you're working?
They're with me all the time. So with your higher self, you're hyper connected, so you're always connected to your higher self. It's just whether
Yes.
you choose to allow or disconnect or disallow. You have your other guides, and they can be in several places at once. So they can be with you helping you do a podcast as well as being
Hi,
like
Gandhi. You're right. Nice to see you.
yes, they can be like here, and then they can be in a different dimension, for example.
Yeah.
So it's just the incredible stuff that comes through. And and it's not just like famous people that come through as guides. There's just, there's all these different incredible guides you can get. And I'm still working on being able to see them. I'm very feeling based and very cognitive. So the way I channel is very much like thinking, like something comes through, or if I close my eyes, I get visions. So
Yeah.
it's like building on that, because everyone has a different way of receiving, and you don't have to be special to be able to, channel
No.
or connect to your guides or your higher self.
I'd
Everyone
love to be
can
able to
do
connect to
it.
my guides. I'd love to sense them or feel them or know more about them. I mean, I know I have, everybody has them because, there are situations that and downloads that you get that you just can't get from anywhere else. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So there are other forces at work, but it's just actually being able to recognize them. That's something that's really fascinating. I think it's just something that's so we don't know enough about it, and not enough people are made aware of this, of what it is that's out there, that's actually helping them and protecting them, and until they have certain experiences, and then they can say, oh, I saw a light or something spoke to me and said, don't do that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
so their guides have actually saved their lives, for example. And people don't recognize it, that they have them, until they're in that situation, do they?
Yeah, that's very true. And I think, like, a lot of people don't believe in guides or non-physical until like a situation like that, which I guess in some ways was kind of like my situation. I
Mm,
didn't really believe in anything spiritual or guides or anything like that until I came across healing, because I was basically hitting rock bottom, and that I guess that was my journey. That was in my soul contract, that I had to
yeah.
go through those difficult times to then find my purpose and
Mm,
connect in with spirituality and find my higher, connect in with my higher self, find the right people to help me on my journey, my coaches, mentors along the way, and to then, come to a point where you think, at some point I was going through depression where I thought, I'm never going to get out of this,
mm.
sitting on my floor in my room, just like, I can't do this anymore, to now, like, where I am, running a business, helping other people, connecting in with, source energy, and uh,
Awesome.
yeah, just being a speaker at events, and being on a podcast, all sorts. So it's just, you just never know what's written for you. And that's the thing, I think we, whether people believe it or not, we all have a soul contract,
Mhm.
and it's something that we agree to before we come to earth, and we don't really know what's written on it until we start discovering all these different aspects of our lives, and you think, why did I go through such a hard time? And
Yeah,
then
you see, I don't remember signing anywhere that I was going to
yeah.
have a podcast show. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
But I must have signed something somewhere that said, yes, I'll definitely have a podcast.
Yeah, or just like, I'll communicate with the masses, and then here
Yes,
comes
I
my
will
host.
impact the world with my voice.
Yeah. And here you are.
And here I am, living the dream, Karishma, living the dream.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank goodness for people like you who want to,
Exactly.
like, make an impact. And thank you for having me to share my voice alongside yours as well.
It's
So it's
great. I just love the fact that since starting the podcast, I've connected with so many amazing people that, I just wouldn't have, if we'd have met, well, we came across each other in a Facebook group, but we didn't really have a reason to chat apart from just casually, hello, how you doing? But this is a different purpose, and it's great that we share this, and that we can impact people all over the world together, which is such a great, I feel like I've got a community of people around the world, like spanning the globe, that have been on my podcast or I've been on theirs. And I just feel like we're one big family. It's crazy. But it's really nice. And we're all the same energetic level, which is
yeah.
perfect.
And I think that's one thing that I always, tell myself every day is like, as hard as this pandemic has been, it's been a blessing in some ways, that it's
Mm,
connected so many of us virtually that we would
yeah.
never have come across in normal circumstances. If we passed each other on the street, or
Yeah.
went to an event which was, hundreds of people, we probably would have spoken to a few and not connected, even if we were in the same room. So yeah, in some ways it's,
Mm.
as much as we're spending time online, it's also helping building those connections, and then hopefully one day when we can all meet up, it'll just be that much more exciting.
Can you imagine it? Like in the same room, like, oh my God, it's you! Running over, big hugs. My God, I have never met you. How amazing is this?
I know, and that's one of the most incredible things, is like, community has been so so so
Mm,
so impactful for me. It's been crucial. It's kept me going through this whole pandemic, and incredibly, it's people that I've never met in person that have
yeah.
kept me together.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I mean, obviously, you speak to your family and friends, but there's just, when you're, I guess, in running a business, or you're talking about woo woo stuff, there's just a different level of community where they just get it and they understand where you are and how hard it is to, like, try, and I guess that loads of people have had to try and change the way they're working from, going face to face, for example, or meeting people for a coffee, when they're coaching or something like that, to then going virtual and then spending all day on the internet. And so to have community has been so incredible, and I just can't thank anyone enough for
I agree
support
completely.
they've been. And I think we can still continue that. It's like, just because we're not seeing anyone face to face, we can still have that community. We can still keep each other going and still, bring people along with us when when we're having good times, or even when we're not, that just being there for each other and just sharing that we can support each other and really, really thrive together. So
So tell me what exciting plans you have, well, apart from your new group coaching that's going to be coming. What else have you got planned for the year? Anything interesting you'd like to share with us? Any insider secrets?
Oh, well, I'm actually doing a incredible speaking opportunity. It's on Thursday, and I'm working with 40 other speakers from around the world, and we're part of a summit which we are all sharing our expertise on. So that has been massive because it's over 10 days. So it's an incredibly huge summit.
That's really
which is
cool.
really, really cool. And then I've got some podcasts coming out where I'm a guest. And then I'm actually going to be part of a collaboration where we're all going to be writing a book together, which is going to be incredibly, incredibly powerful. And I don't want to give too much away because I don't know if the person who organized it has said much to the public yet. So I don't want to give too much away. But it's going to be so powerful, and there's just so much happening behind the scenes for it. It's going to be quite explosive. So I'm really excited for that.
I'm really looking forward to that. That's exciting. I can't wait for you to reveal it to the world and say, this is me, this is my book. That's so cool.
So that is coming I think towards the end of this year. So that's really exciting. And I've got some master classes coming up, some free master classes coming up, so really excited for that. So for anyone who wants to know more, stay tuned to my social media. I will be revealing more, and of course the energetics will be coming. So there's a lot happening in the background. It's just trying to catch up.
I'm sure. Yeah, definitely.
So there's like loads happening, and I'm sure there'll be more because I'm always getting like ideas popping in, like, oh, maybe I should do this, oh, maybe I should do that. But it's just trying to catch up with my brain and say, okay,
yes, you need time to be able to formulate and actually physically do things, don't you? So
and at some point I will be on the beach with a pina colada.
Oh my god, yes,
taking a break.
I mean, at this rate, it might be a sand pit in my back garden, but that'll do. I don't care. Just get me outside.
Get a little paddling pool for my feet.
Could be, couldn't it? Yeah. Although I would have said hot tub, but they're more expensive than holidays. I mean, they're crazy price.
They really are. But as long as we have sunshine this summer like we did last summer, that will be really good as well.
That would be really
universe, if you can make that happen, that'll be really great.
I think, well, the weather's been really good today, so I would imagine we're going to have a good summer. So. So, my lovely, how can my audience, you said to stay in touch with you to find out what's going to be happening. How can they find you on the big web?
Okay, so they can find me. My main area of playing is probably Instagram. So if you find me at Karishma v Sharma, that's where I mainly hang out. You can also find me on Facebook, which is at Karishma v Sharma Coaching. And on my website, karishma-sharma.com as well. So there'll be more details coming out on there as well. So yeah,
Excellent.
whichever works for your audience.
Yeah.
And if anyone is listening and would love to know more, just drop me a DM and let me know that you listened to this. And if it's okay with you, I would love to offer a free breakthrough call to anyone who listens to this podcast.
Perfect. Yes. Did you hear that, guys? Just give her a DM and say, I heard you on Tara's podcast. And
exactly.
It's good to have connections, what can I tell you?
Yeah. So yeah, amazingly, I'm on this podcast and I know like you put, your love and your energy into it. So
I do.
It's just amazing to have your listeners as well to come through and say, yeah, I've been listening to Tara as well.
That's so cool. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate doing that. All right, my lovely. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. We will stay in touch, and who knows what the future's going to bring, but we'll definitely keep an eye on you and make sure that we see all the new stuff that's coming up for the rest of the year.
Yes, definitely. And thank you once again for having me on here. And thank you to the listeners for listening as well.
Yep, thank you. Thank you for listening to the Happy, Inspired, Motivated podcast. I'll be back next week bringing more meditation, mindset, and motivation for your happy and successful life. To find out more about our community, go to tarachatzakis.com/happy, inspired, motivated.